Hi trainers, I'm Doonbugs. In my last video, I showed two builds that I thought were going to be useful against the 7-star Water Tera Pikachu raids before the event began. Since the event has started, we now know that Pikachu has access to Play Rough, and unfortunately both builds that I suggested were Grass and Dark types, meaning that Play Rough is going to one-shot both of these builds. Now that we know what Pikachu's moves are and how the battle mechanics work, I'm going to show you 3 builds that will work for online or offline Tera raids, so that you can keep on farming your Water Tera shards. Though it has no super effective attacks against Pikachu, Clodsire is an amazing defensive option that can still pack a heavy punch. Clodsire is a poison and ground type Pokemon, and with it having a ground typing, is immune to Pikachu's thunder attacks. If you give Clodsire Water Absorb as its ability, Surf no longer does any damage as well, and instead gives you passive healing. For Clodsire, you want to make sure it's holding the item Covert Cloak so that Iron Tail does not reduce its defense at all. Additionally, you want to make sure it has a ground Tera typing so that Earthquake, when terrestrialized, does as much damage as possible. Clodsire only works with these Tera raids if you have the egg moves Curse and Recover, whether you got it through breeding or through Mirror Herb. You want to spend your first turns maxing out your attack and defense with 6 curses, and use any amount of recovers needed during that process to make sure that you survive the whole way through. Once your attack and defense are maximized with 6 curses, use 1 attack cheer so that you have an extra boost to your attack stat. At that point, use 3 Earthquakes, then you can terrestrialize. After that, you should just be able to keep on spamming Earthquake and knock Pikachu out by yourself in about 6 or 7 more Earthquakes. Just make sure you keep using Recover when you're around half HP so that in case you get hit by a critical attack, you won't faint. You just want to maximize your EVs in health and attack, and then use the remaining for special defense. Lurantis is another amazing option for the Pikachu Tera raids, as it has access to recovery moves and extremely strong grass attacks. Make sure it's holding a Covert Cloak, and you also want to have it have the ability Contrary. Contrary is a great ability for Lurantis because it has access to Leaf Storm. Leaf Storm normally decreases your special attack by 2 stages, but with Contrary, it instead increases your special attack by 2 stages. Lurantis also has access to Sunny Day to minimize Pikachu's surf attacks, and it also has Synthesis, which combined with Sunny Day increases your health by 75%. Use any combination of Leaf Storm, Sunny Day, and Synthesis to stay alive until you can terrestrialize and max out your special attack. At that point, use Solar Beam when the sun is up so that you have guaranteed hits. When the sun is not up, you want to switch on over to Leaf Storm. For EVs, fully invest them in health and special attack and throw the rest in special defense for Lurantis. The build that I used to solo Pikachu in an offline raid was Fearsome Champion Pokemon Gogoat. Gogoat is a great option because it has the hidden ability Grass Pelt, which in combination with Grassy Terrain boosts its defense stat. Gogoat has access to Bulk Up, which increases its attack and defense stats. It has access to Sunny Day to minimize Pikachu's surf attacks. It has Grassy Terrain for passive healing and to activate Grass Pelt, and it can gain passive recovery through Horn Leech. You want it to have either an adamant or impish nature, and you also want to fully invest its EVs in health and special defense to give it maximum bulk and survivability. Set up Sunny Day on turn 1 so that Surf is no longer boosted by Rain Dance, then on turn 2 set up Grassy Terrain if it's not set up already so that your defense is boosted too. Keep on spamming Horn Leech until you can terrestrialize so that you can gain recovery through a terrestrialized Horn Leech attack. Once you've recovered enough HP, keep on spamming Bulk Up until you get back to low health, then use Horn Leech again to get back to full health. After you've bulked up 6 times to maximize your attack and defense, make sure Grassy Terrain is up for that boosted defense and passive healing and increased grass attacks, and just use Horn Leech until you defeat Pikachu. Thanks for watching, trainers. I hope the builds in this video were a lot more helpful than the builds in my last video. Let me know in the comments if any of these worked for you, and I'd love to hear if you had any fun builds of your own too. If you enjoyed this video, please consider liking and subscribing to my channel. I also stream on Twitch at twitch.tv/Doonbugs. Thanks again for watching, and happy farming on your Water Tera shards.